miles and running back.
Self-encounter show. Self-encounter show. Self-encounter show. We go on and on and on. Come and vibe and chill as we grow. Come and vibe and chill as we grow. Come and vibe and chill as we grow. As we grow. Self-encounter show, yeah.
Good effing Friday. And when I say effing, no, I'm not cursing for you scoop balls who mind is in the gutter thinking I'm saying a bad word. I just haven't figured out if I want to say favorite, freaking, or fabulous Friday. I mean, either way, it's Friday. Like, it's the best day of the week, so you already know it's time to get hype. It's time to get live. You know what I'm saying? Finna get right. You know? Because from our Monday through Friday, folks, that means we off tomorrow. We don't have to do nothing that we don't want to do. If you don't want to get up early, you don't have to. If you want to go run some errands, you know, you can do that. Or if you want to just chill in the house, watch TV, shoot, you can do that too. Because you on your own time come tomorrow. But like I just said, you know, the weekend is finally here. So let's live it up. And of course, don't work too hard today. I mean, just in case nobody else tells you, I had to do that for you. I had to come on here and say, don't work too hard today because it's Friday and we don't work hard on Fridays. So on this wonderful, and I mean beautiful, Friday morning, I want us to focus on a topic that honestly, I didn't take the time to educate myself on until someone came into my life that deals with it. And I honestly didn't know how to handle it or be there for them. Don't get me wrong now. I wanted to, but because of my lack of knowledge, the way I was trying to wasn't necessarily the correct way. Like, everyone who knows me know I like to laugh and play and laugh, you know what I'm saying? So, my fool self was trying to tell jokes and play around, but all they wanted was for me to just shut up and just be there for moral support, aka, you know what I'm saying, be like a listening ear and a shoulder to lean on. But like I said, I wasn't educated enough, so I thought if I told some jokes, try to make them laugh, that everything would be good. But boy, was I wrong. Yeah, I was definitely wrong with that one. But what I can say is, with time and patience, I've learned a lot. And I learned to also ask questions now to better understand how, you know, how a person is feeling, what's going through their mind, or ways to help comfort them, you know. And that goes really for anybody, not just the people that I know personally, but it's just, you never know what a person is going through. So, you know, just being there sometimes makes a difference. But with that being said, I wanted to take the time and put our focus on mental health and bring awareness to folks just like me who knows about it but aren't educated enough to understand it. Like I said, I'm still learning. Like, this is still a learning process. So I went and got some help. So I'm going to sit back and let them lead the episode while we, you know, take notes. Well, if y'all don't take notes, I know I'm going to take notes because I'm not finna be shamed again. I'm over there trying to tell jokes and they looking at me crazy like, girl, please, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking like, girl, like, boy, whoever. You see me over here trying to tell jokes. Why aren't you laughing? I'm trying hard to make you feel better, but like I said, that's not what they be wanting. They just be wanting you to be there in their presence. Now, before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and read off the 4 questions that I asked them. That way you'll know exactly what they're answering. The first question is, explain what mental health awareness is. The second question was, how to educate people who are unaware. Third question was, ways to be helpful towards someone who deals with it. And then the last question was, tell anything you want people to know about mental health. Now that we have the questions out there and you know what they'll be answering, let's go ahead and jump into it. And to start us off, we have Denisha, aka my 2020, you know what I'm saying? You already know how we rocking and rolling. I don't have to say too much besides thank you for, you know, helping me with this episode and spreading some knowledge. You know, cause you know. But anyways, let me go ahead and play your response. Alright, first question. Explain what mental health awareness is.
To me, I believe that mental health awareness is pretty much spreading knowledge about mental health, getting people to understand what mental health really is, and also being an advocate of it all. and showing people that you are there for them when they have this situation going on with them.
Okay. Let's go ahead and jump into that second question. How to educate people who are unaware.
There are a lot of different ways that you can educate people who are unaware of mental health. Personally, I think that you can just sit down with them and really tell them an insight of what you're going through and encourage them to do more research of their own after that, because there are a lot of articles out there that you can get good information from.
Interesting. So now you already know I'm gonna have to ask this one. What's some ways to be helpful towards someone who deals with it?
Some ways that you can be helpful towards someone that deals with it is being a listening ear. Let them get everything off their chest and try to get them out of the house, get them to do things that make them feel good, make them happy, make them smile, like going out to eat or anything, like any small thing that could just change their mood or change their day would be the best thing in the world to them. And you might not even think it's something big, but to them, it's the world.
Okay, I'm over here taking notes, you know what I'm saying? Because that was definitely what I needed to hear. But let's go ahead and jump into this last question, which is tell anything you want people to know about mental health.
Something that I think people should know about mental health illnesses is that really, honestly, I feel that the strongest people are the ones that really suffer from mental illness the most. Like, they are the ones that put up a front, they make you smile all the time, make you laugh, but inside, they are really suffering and hurting the most. Like, always check up on people, be a listening ear, be there for them, because you never know what people may be going through in life, honestly.
Man, you gave some good insight. So again, I say thank you very much for sharing that. I know I done learned something. That's definitely cut the jokes out, be a listening ear, and just do thoughtful stuff. Even if it's something small, you know what I'm saying? Just anything to cheer them up besides telling jokes. All right, now it's time for our second interviewee. I think that's a word, and I think that's how you say it too. Cause y'all know I'll make up something quick, and I don't delete it from the episode. Cause y'all be knowing what I be trying to say. So, anyways, let's go ahead and listen to her responses to the questions.
Okay, so thank you for having me. My name is Ebony, and I wouldn't say I specialize in mental health, but I feel like I definitely know a lot about it, and I have anxiety, and I learned more about that as well as mental health in general, and then so. So, mental health awareness is, basically not only acknowledging that mental health is important, but also talking about it and, putting yourself out there, or just putting it out there in general, so that others can, feel like if they feel like they are having too much on their plate, like they're not the only ones, and they can also get help too. Awareness is just basically the acceptance and understanding of something in part of a whole. So basically, you're accepting and understanding of mental health and how important it is. Different parts, maybe the whole thing, or you just know certain parts of it and stuff like that. You're learning, and you kind of just learn as you go, and you hear people's stories, you learn more about that, and you can YouTube it if you're dealing with it yourself. It's all about talking about it, and that's just how you can further educate people is sharing YouTube videos, writing it, talking about it, basically just sharing your own personal stories, or someone else's story, maybe something you learned in school or whatever. It's just basically how you can educate people who are unaware. Ways you can be helpful towards someone who may have a mental illness, or is going through something mentally right now, like your friend is just going through some things, if they lost someone, or if they lost their job, or anything that brings like a like tragedy or something traumatic experience, any things like those. Like, basically you can be helpful towards them by letting them know, like, you're not alone in this. I'm here if you need someone to talk to. You can go over there to the house or just send them a text or call them and just let them know that they're loved. They're not alone. Like, you are a safe place for them to, talk about what's going on and, kind of know what triggers them or, what may be triggering it. Just basically just talking. That's how you can be helpful, is just, being that person for them, letting them know, like, hey, I'm here. Like, people, even if they don't talk to you right then and there, I feel like, just letting them know, like, I have I have someone in my corner. Eventually they'll tell you and they'll talk about what's going on. When it really comes to mental health, it's very important. I just feel as though it's just as important as your physical health. When you catch a cold, what do? You treat it. So, when you're having a bad mental day, I say treat it like a cold. Do things that will kind of get you out of your funk. Sometimes your funk you may be in it for a little longer, but don't stay there. Do not stay there. Do not stay there. It's not good. Just talk about it. If you have anxiety, if you have suicidal thoughts, or you going through depression or anything like that, it's really good to talk. And if you aren't a talker, you can do audio journaling, or you can just write it out. If you don't like talking to people, you can use the audio journal and just kind of like, especially if you don't like writing as well as talking to people and you like talking to yourself. Like, I like talking to myself, so I'll do audio journaling and I'll sit there and just talk about my day or, whatever is bothering me. Sometimes I even film myself so I feel like I'm talking to someone. Or I'll look in the mirror and record myself just talking, because I feel like it's just good to let things off your chest that sometimes you start talking, you let things out that you didn't even know were bothering you, or that you was sitting on your chest. And it feels good to really let it all out. I feel like mental health definitely needs to be taken more seriously in the Black community. I feel like, in a way, I feel like there is some progress, but as well as no progress. Little progress is progress. But I feel as though it just needs to be taken more seriously when, if your child says, like, Mom, I've been feeling sad for this how long, don't, be like, well, you get over it, and, some crazy, mess like that. Or, just making your child feel like they can't talk to you or whatever they're going through isn't important as much as if they got a cold or something. It just needs to be talked about more in the Black community. I feel as though, we need to be educated more, and those who, can, I feel like they should do more, just because, like, in a pandemic, I know, for one, kids are not used to, wearing a mask all day, not be able to really, be in each other's space like how it was for me when I was coming up. Like, now kids, like, the norm now is wearing masks and social distancing and stuff like that. Like, certain things have been cut out. And I feel like, kids, we're this thing where, suicidal rates are going up, and that's, it's not good. It's not fair that these kids have to struggle by themselves. So I feel like, it really just starts when you're young. I feel like, I know me as a parent, mental health would definitely be treated like a sick day. Because I remember it was days where I did not feel like going to school, and I couldn't tell my mom, so of course I'd be like, I got cramps, or my stomach hurts, or something like that. The whole time, it's nothing really wrong with me physically. It's just something wrong, I'm just not, something maybe triggered me back then or whatever, and I was just like not having it, But it just needs to be taken more seriously in the Black community. I feel like, like I said, little progress is progress, but it's definitely more to be done. As well as I just want to remind everyone, if you are dealing with something, if you are not in your best headspace like you usually are, whatever, just talk about it. Like, talk to someone you trust, talk to someone you love. Also, therapy. That's another, I feel like that's kind of like a Black taboo, and a taboo in the, Black community as well. Going to therapy. That's like, been raised, some people have been raised like, oh, that's only for crazy people and stuff like that. And, calling people crazy. Don't call people with mental illness crazy, because it's, for one, I feel like it's very much disrespectful to them, because you're making it seem like this is their fault that they're this way. whole time is not like, you know what I'm saying, like, it's not their fault. It's not their fault that their brain was programmed differently than you. And, you know, now it's not fair. So calling someone crazy, I just I don't like it. I try not to, just because I did catch myself a few times, like, you know, sitting, I was like, no, that's not fair to them, and I won't want someone to call me crazy. So I really try not to really use that word when it comes to, I don't even try to put that word in a sentence when it comes to mental health, because, you know, they're not crazy. They're not crazy at all. So, yeah. As a whole, I just feel as though mental health definitely needs to be taken more seriously in our Black community, as well as in general, you know, at jobs, in the workplace, at school. I feel like, you know, years from now, I feel like mental health will be, you know, people won't be too shy to really talk about. I feel like now some people do, it is being talked about more, but I feel as though, you know, years from now, people, it'll be like, yeah, I have this, and be able to have more conversations and, you know, stuff like that, to where people don't feel alone and things in that nature. I also have a podcast, you know, talking about my own experiences with, you know, dealing with mental health, and not just that, but, you know, spiritual life, physical, you know, emotions, all that. I talk about that on there, so y'all can check it out. It is the Butterfly Effect podcast, the B podcast. You can check out our Instagram at _BeEvolveFly. Check me out there. Coming back in January. But yeah, take your mental health seriously, guys. Don't wait till it's too late. You know, if you do go to therapy, I started it and I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it so far, because I'm learning more about myself and how to handle life when things happen, and handle life better when situations happen, and I'm not, you know, over something. It's a word, can't think of it. Don't want to say it because it'll probably be wrong, but, you know, just doing too much all at once for myself and making myself go lose my mind. So yeah.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that and everything that you said, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't even think about looking up some YouTube videos on it, as well as, you know what I'm saying, learning a person's triggers. That way you'll know, you know, if you come across a trigger, you can be prepared to kind of not really shield them, but be there for them, as well as reassurance. That's definitely a good one too. So I'm going to definitely have to work on reassurance and learning the triggers, as well as learning the person. Which I think that's the same thing. Learning the triggers and learning the person. I think it go hand in hand. I could be wrong, but I feel like it does go. Anyways, I want to also give a shout out to the B, aka the Butterfly Effect. Y'all should definitely go check her out and support her and her podcast. I'll definitely drop the information for that, or where you can find it, in the description. So yeah. Now, for the last one, I had to bring the homie back. You know, the last episode, we had a lot of technical difficulties, so this time, we had to get it right. With that being said, go ahead and, reintroduce yourself. Because you already introduced yourself the last episode, but now I want you to reintroduce yourself the correct way.
Hey, y'all. It's Mariah. As she said, I'm back at it again. I know y'all miss me. Sorry. What's up, everybody?
You play all day. Well, I want to start off by saying thank you for helping me with this episode, you know, and with answering these questions as well. It's, you know, spreading some knowledge too. So, yeah.
Of course. The pleasure is all mine, friend.
With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this first question, which is, explain what mental health awareness is.
To me, mental health awareness is just being knowledgeable. And I mean, it's in the title, being aware. You know, everybody goes through issues and spills and trials and tribulations in life. And so, I feel like it shows a lot of accountability to, you know, kind of take that by the head and figure out what's going on with you. Because, you know, it's not just one thing or another thing. Sometimes, you know, it's some real life issues going on. I feel like that's where mental health, your mental health or your mental capacity comes into play, you know?
Yeah, that was perfect. And a great explanation too. So let's go ahead and All right, let's head on over to that second question, which is how to educate people who are unaware.
Ooh. See, it's a touchy subject at the same time because a lot of people don't want to have a problem. You know what I'm saying? So they're in denial 9 times out of 10. And so learning how to kind of get into that or start the conversation, you know what I'm saying, is going to be tough,
Right.
especially in the black community because, you know, folks just think ain't nothing wrong. But just taking the time to step back and do your research. I mean, there's a lot of mental health stigmas out there. There's a lot of things that people suffer from, anxiety and depression being leading to. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a cousin that suffers from schizophrenia, and I mean, while you don't see that as often, it's still prevalent. So just doing your research. You know, if you're not feeling yourself, if you're not feeling your best, if you're noticing, you know, sad days or angry days or, you know, anxious days more often than not, you know, it might be time to take a step back and figure out, you know, what could be going on with yourself. So, yeah, just do your research.
Okay, okay.
Self-evaluation.
Ooh, self-evaluation, yes. That is.
Yeah,
That's very necessary.
facts.
All right, so now that you say that, now I must ask you, what's some ways to be helpful towards someone who deals with it?
First and foremost, patience. And I say that word because I have none. But I mean, when it's someone you love and someone you care about, you are a little more understanding and you tend to, you know, see things a different way. But definitely, I would say patience because it's hard out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're already going through it. It's hard going through it, and it's also hard watching someone go through it. So, being patient, listening, and at least trying to understand or grasp, you know, what they're going through is most helpful. Definitely just take it one day at a time. That's all you can do, really.
Man, you said something with that one because I swear, I'm with you. I don't have patience, but like you said, you have to have patience and you have to be understanding, you know?
Yes.
So,
Heavy on the understanding, girl. Cause, whew,
I know.
child.
That's hard to do sometimes too because it's just like some, I'm not going to say they don't make sense at times. It's just when you don't understand exactly how they're feeling or what they're thinking, it's hard for you to kind of be empathetic towards them, and you just be looking at them like something is really wrong. You know what I'm saying? You be looking like something is really wrong, but
Exactly.
it's not. It's just they're going through
They're
something.
suffering.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they're
They're
suffering.
suffering from something and they don't even know it half of the time.
Exactly. So if they don't know it, then they don't know how to express to you that I'm not okay. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to
I
be
agree.
there. So you're right.
Yeah.
Chad. That was a good one though, for real, because you right. Patience and understanding. That is the main two, and that's a lot of things that a lot of people suffer with, like not having. Um.
Ooh, child. Yes. A lot of people don't have that support either. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
um, I see that all too much. And I don't have nobody to talk to, or I don't have nobody I can turn to when this is going on or when that's going on. You know, just to let out your frustrations or your emotions or whatever, just to sit and cry sometimes because it's needed. And a lot of people don't have that support to be able to do that. It's sad, but it's a reality.
It is sad, but you know, also too, sometimes people feel like it's like attention seeking. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen that too.
Yeah.
But it's not. I mean, if you're dealing with it, you're dealing with something. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all go through things, and it might not necessarily be anxiety or depression or, you know, bipolar or anything like that. Like, it could be so many, you know, so many other things. Maybe you're just having a bad day. Maybe you're going through life's motions and things that are beating you up and getting you down a little bit. You know, everybody
Mhm.
has their days.
Yeah, and I also think they use that word attention seeking more so because you know how mental health is really downplayed. So we take it as, oh, you just crying wolf. Like, nothing's really wrong with you because nothing is wrong with us. But mental health is really real.
It is, man. It is. I promise you.
Yeah. So I'm glad that more people are starting to speak up about it, and as well as people are starting to take it more seriously.
Yeah. It's because it's being seen more and more. People are suffering right in front of us. And a lot of people don't even realize it. So you got to take it serious. I mean, you got a friend or a family member or something, and you found out after the fact that they were suffering or going through stuff and they felt alone or whatever, like, and the whole time you could have been that listening ear that they needed or that help that they needed that could have took them one more day, and instead they decided to take their life or whatever, and it's just like, because I strongly feel like, some people are like, oh, I don't need nobody, but I strongly feel like everybody needs somebody, at least 1 to 2 people that they can just turn to and talk to with no holds barred, all fences and walls down, like just completely let it all loose too. Everybody needs somebody to be able to do that with. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's necessary. So
it is, because you can't do but so much talking to yourself before. I don't know.
Before I about go crazy.
Exactly. And besides too, like when you talk to other people, they kind of give you a different perspective to look at the situation. If you're just talking to yourself, then all you see is your vision. So it's like tunnel vision in a sense. So I definitely agree with you with that. Having some good supportive people in your circle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Even if, like you say, even if it's just one person or two people. I'm about to say person. But yeah.
Even if it's just 2 people, that's all you need. That you can just pick up the phone and know, oh, they alright. They're gonna be able to listen to me. I know if I'm going through something, if I got a hard time going on, I can call them. You know what I'm saying? Just somebody. Or therapy. I mean, therapy is very important. A lot of people don't want to do therapy. A lot of Black people feel like therapy is a cop-out, or, it's a waste of time, a waste of money, but therapy helps. Myself, I plan on going to therapy. After my mom passed, I knew I was going to need it even more. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely going to make that happen.
As bad as this sound, but it's like, I was always one of those people who was against therapy, because I used to be like, what I need to go to therapy for? Like, why do I need to go pay you to listen to me talk about my problems that's still gonna be there? You know what I'm saying? That's the way that's the way I used to think. But like now that I'm, educating myself more, it's just like therapy is more than just them listening to you talk. It's also giving you ways to help cope with the situation, deal with it better for your own sanity.
That's exactly it. Ooh, that's the one, friend, for your own sanity.
I know, so shoot, I'm with you. I do want to go one day. I just got to take the time, because I'm always on go. So I just need to sit down and go.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. You got the right move.
Yeah. So I feel like we said some good stuff, so let's go ahead and get to this last question here. And that's what's something, or actually tell anything you want people to know about mental health that wasn't said?
Oh, I think this is the only thing that I can think of when it comes to that. It's okay to not be okay.
That's something right there. It's okay to not be okay.
It is okay to not be okay. You will not be your best self. You will not show up as your best self every day. And that is okay, because you are only human and life is life. So when you feel the need to take a mental health day from work or school or whatever you're doing, do it.
Yes.
Do it. Because whatever you got going on can wait one day.
It sure can. We're not robots.
We are not robots, okay?
We go through emotions.
Yes, indeed.
As well as life is like a roller coaster ride. You get hit with so many twists and turns that every day won't be a good day.
All right. Tell the people. Preach to the folks now.
But long as you know that even your bad days won't last.
Girl, but don't last always.
You crazy, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, and I want to say thank you again. I really do appreciate this to the fullest. Yeah.
Of course, you are so welcome. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me for a second week. I love it here. I can't wait to come back again.
Most definitely. Alright, man.
Alright, y'all be blessed. Remember to love yourself, love your friends, love your family, love your enemies. Put some love out there, whatever you do. Bye, y'all.
And that's a wrap, folks. I want to thank each and every one again, even though I know I said it after each person. But I just want you to know that I really do appreciate you coming and helping me with spreading some knowledge. I know I didn't go deep into the topic. I just kind of scratched the surface. But I may, end up doing a part 2 eventually one day. I don't know yet. It's up in the air. Like I say, this podcast is just don't know what may happen. But before I let you go, I just want to say have a great day. Don't work too hard. Again, definitely don't work too hard. But have a wonderful Friday. Have a great weekend. A great safe weekend, that is. And yeah, until next time.